Hey, what's up everyone, Raging Golden Eagle here, having way too much fun as always. Got another nice little gem that was sent my way a few days back. So yeah, if you guys have any awesome stuff to send my way, feel free. I ain't gonna turn down awesome content ideas. But anyway, to the topic at hand, this article may be 3 months old at the time I'm posting this video, but it's still very much relevant as a sign that greater society is finally accepting truths that people like me have been preaching for the past 3 years now. Hampton's bachelors are getting vasectomies so gold diggers can't trap them. Now you see, what we have here are guys that have found the middle ground. They are no longer thinking entirely with their dicks because they had the brains to get a vasectomy. They're not exactly thinking entirely with their brains because they wouldn't be getting with these gold diggers if they were, but instead they found a nice little compromise. Keep giving your dick what it wants while at the same time putting in a nice little security barrier. Not gonna stop things like false rape accusations, but at least the baby trap has been taken care of. I had a vasectomy a few months ago. Having a house in the Hamptons and being fairly well off, I've encountered some problems. Women try to get pregnant, said Scott, a regular on the society scene who earns a cool $500,000 a year, which I gotta say is pretty damn good for a male model. He recalled sex partners who have lied to him about being on birth control. It's a trick. They say, "I love you, we don't need a condom." And I'm sure a lot of you guys listening right now will know there's more to it than just that too. If you dare question them, they turn on the waterworks and cry that you don't trust them or something, even as they're blatantly deceiving you. So the goal of these baby traps? At the very least, 18 to 21 years of child support depending on the state, and in some instances a green card for the mother since their child will be born in the US. At best, Scott said, women want that Cinderella story of happily ever after, but I'm non-committal at this point in my life. Now, I know some of you out there may be thinking that he's no better than these women. While they're out there trying to use him for his money, he's there just trying to use them for sex. And to that, my response is, it all depends on how honest he is about it. If he lets them know ahead of time that sex is all he's looking for right now, and they still agree to it, then they get absolutely zero sympathy from me when their evil plans backfire. Now, on the other hand, if he is actually being the villain here and just stringing them along, I can concede the point there. But I just had to make that distinction because there's always someone out there in the comments that's going to be screaming about that. And here's the awesome part though, this is apparently an upwards trend. Area urologists report they've been seeing more well-off bachelors request vasectomies ahead of the Hamptons season. Matt, a divorced 41-year-old park sloper who works in media and drives a Jaguar convertible, had his vasectomy performed 4 years ago at the beginning of May in anticipation of the summer, he said. And this next piece is going to be important for you guys that are considering the same course of action. It can take up to 3 months for sperm to be 100% eliminated, but for men who just can't wait, an ejaculate test can determine if their system is cleared sooner. And man, I especially love this next paragraph here, because this is exactly what people like me have been saying for over 3 years now. They don't want to be in the situation of being accused of fathering an unwanted baby, said Dr. Joseph Alukal. That's their fear. Being told you're paying for this kid until it's an adult. And funny enough, I actually don't think a lot of these guys would mind paying for the kid, but they know that's not who they're paying for. As the vast majority of kids of single mothers who are receiving child support can confirm, the kids see hardly any, if any, of that money. It all goes to her. If it literally was just about the kid, most of these guys probably wouldn't mind just taking in the kid and raising the kid themselves. But it's not about the kids, and we know that. This extortion happens all the time. Women come after them, they get pregnant, and want a ransom payment. Something that wouldn't be possible, by the way, if this literally was just for the kids or in the best interests of the child. Some guys do an analysis of the cost. For 3 days of discomfort after vasectomy, it's worth millions of dollars to them. And boom, there we go. How long now have I been harping on the importance of the cost-benefit analysis for any important life decision? I am so glad more guys are finally learning this basic shit. And now we get to another guy that learned a pretty hard lesson. I'm sure you guys out there who've been watching my channel and others like me for a while are very well versed in the term sperm jacking. How could a woman possibly steal your sperm against your will? Well, that's easy. She offered to dispose of the used condom, but when she was in the bathroom for a while, John got suspicious. He found the woman seated on the toilet and inserting his semen inside her. She denied it, but she tried to get herself pregnant, said John, who grabbed a towel and made her clean herself and then take a shower. After that, I have to be a lot more careful. And this dude is lucky he actually caught her in the act. That could have been a very expensive mistake right there. So any of you guys still sleeping around who happen to be watching this, don't ever let her dispose of your used condoms. You have to dispose of it yourself. Don't even leave it in her house if that's where you did the deed. Take it with you. Yeah, sure, it sounds gross, but would you prefer that or 18 to 21 years of child support? Your call. And damn, I really love this statement too in reference to these guys that get vasectomies. It's not that they don't want kids someday, he said. They don't want kids on other people's terms. And this is something that women can't argue with. Cause for how long have we been hearing my body, my choice? Well, it goes both ways. Now, talking about the cost-benefit analysis earlier, here's the actual numbers. Child support is 17% of the father's salary up to $400,000, after which the amount is at a judge's discretion. For someone who makes $1 million a year, Gar estimates annual payments of $100,000, a total of $2.1 million until the child turns 21. Meanwhile, a vasectomy is typically covered by insurance or costs $1,000 out of pocket. Definitely worth the investment if all you want to do is screw around. And before I sign off, there's actually something that really bothers me that was mentioned in this article. Clearly all the guys we went over were pretty well off, making mid-six figures. It goes without saying, if you're rich and you want to fool around, and the women you're with know you're rich, you need to protect yourself. But the problem I have is with the other end of the spectrum. Cause one of these doctors they interviewed for the article flat out said that he's never seen a poor guy asking for a vasectomy. I would argue that these poor guys probably need it more than the rich. Just like what Chris Rock said about prenups in one of his routines. If you're making $20 million and she gets half, you're still gonna survive. If you're making $20,000 and she gets half, all of a sudden you can't even afford your rent. And it's not like poor guys are never taken to the cleaners when it comes to child support. Those single mothers with 5 kids, each from a different dad, didn't go hunting after the rich guys. They just hunted enough poor guys to get the same effect. And it's the poor guys whose livelihood is most at risk. So it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. If you still insist on going out and fooling around, just get a damn vasectomy. It'll save you a lot of trouble in the end. That's all I gotta say, guys. Thanks for listening.